Hi, I'm Kate, and this is She Geek. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite subjects on planet Earth, which is Batman. In honor of new screenshots that were just released from the upcoming Batman Arkham City game, we're going to take a brief glimpse into the past and go over some of the video games that have featured Batman as a character. Before we do that though, let's take a look at the new Crysis 2 trailer, the Be Strong trailer that was released earlier this week.
Ordinary men are but piles of flesh and bone, too weak to stand against the enemy we now face. But with the nanosuit.
So I'm sure we all fondly remember how Crysis, the first Crysis game, became kind of like a benchmark for computer hardware because it was just the minimum requirements to run Crysis 1 were totally bananas. And the min specs to run Crysis 2 were leaked on a German Facebook page somewhere, and they're actually lower than the minimum specs for the first game, which makes sense. I don't know. It's all totally unofficial though, so who knows, maybe they'll come out, they'll be insane, but for now it sounds like you won't actually have to upgrade your rig every single piece of it like you did before. Okay, so let's talk about Batman. And that's how Kate recorded a 16-hour-long episode of She Geek. I could talk about Batman for a long time. Batman hasn't had the greatest history as a video game character. He was featured in some NES, SNES games as like a typical kind of like arcade side-scrolling beat-em-up type of game, which sometimes would have a 16-bit version of like Michael Keaton in there. Never very exciting stuff. There was a Batman and Robin game for Genesis that was kind of a Bruce Timm animated style, kind of harkened back to the cartoon a little bit. Still, the action side-scroller, not very exciting stuff. There was the PlayStation 1 movie tie-in version of Batman and Robin. You may remember this movie because it featured a little actor named Arnold Schwarzenegger in an absolutely immortal role as Mr. Freeze. You may not remember the game though because it was absolutely panned by critics. It was really terrible. It was really dark, like physically, like you couldn't actually see anything that was going on. It was bad. Batman Vengeance was probably one of the least painful Batman games out there. It was actually kind of good. It came out for PlayStation 2 and then GameCube and Xbox the next year. This was like 2000, 2001 I think. And it was actually like a lot of fun. It was based off of the cartoon again. And it was actually voice acted by a great deal of the people who were doing the animated series at the time. So it was Kevin Conroy as Batman, and Mark Hamill as the Joker, best Joker of all time. Some brilliant developer or designer in that team decided that it would actually be a good idea to use Batman's kind of detective, puzzle figuring out kind of guy, the detective part of Batman, to be a game mechanic, which was brilliant. And actually worked out really well. Then there was Batman Rise of Sin Tzu on Xbox, which I think was trying to capitalize off the popularity of Batman Vengeance and carried over some elements of it, but just didn't really work. So that brings me up to modern era Batman. Batman Arkham Asylum totally revolutionized the way Batman is portrayed, especially in games. I definitely, before this game came out, I remember reading about it and having my doubts because I love Batman and he had been absolutely trashed in video games. But Batman Arkham Asylum totally blew me away. It's written by Paul Dini. It's not his first Batman rodeo. Voices by Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill again, best Joker ever. And just seriously, like, one of the best games of all time. So good. I love Arkham Asylum. I have nothing bad to say about it. You felt like Batman playing that game. Which brings us to Batman Arkham City, the highly anticipated, at least by me, future release, the sequel to Batman Arkham Asylum. Some new screenshots came out this week, looking pretty sick. Although I gotta say, I think Harley's looking a little trashy. I think that they've kind of like backed so far away from Harley the way she's supposed to look that now she just looks kind of like a hoe. Arkham City is supposed to be 5 times bigger than Arkham Asylum and actually takes place in Gotham. So it's kind of, it allows you a little bit more freedom to explore Gotham itself. It sounds like they're taking the good stuff and just giving us more of it. I personally cannot wait. So in addition to the show today, I wanted to let you guys know I wrote up a review for Bulletstorm, Epic's new shooter. You may have heard of it. And that's going to be up on the Pop Galaxy blogs, along with the new Bulletstorm trailer. And I will put a link in the info so that you guys can go check that out. So that's my show. As usual, come follow me on Twitter at She Geek Show. Come like my Facebook page. I do different things. I post different things in different places, so you should probably follow both, just to be safe. Today is Tuesday, February 8th, 2011, and I will see you guys next week. Drink some Wonder Woman water.